Ladies and good-looking losers. You guys know I'm a big fan of Chris from Good Looking Loser. His website was a self-improvement website that helped me get more confident with women, get more confident with myself, and work through a lot of the self-improvement goals that I had. His website at the moment is currently offline. I don't know if that's a temporary thing or a permanent thing. I don't know. I'm not really in touch with him. But one of the coaches in our coaching program, Ed, suggested I cover this particular topic or this particular article of Good Looking Losers because it was one of the ones that helped him and myself as well the most. We sort of had to go digging through an archive of the site to get this. It was basically an article about screening. This article is about the idea that when it comes to dating, and this applies to women as well, but we guys often fall into the trap of, God, I hope she likes me. I hope I do a good job. I hope I perform for her. I hope I'm everything that she wants me to be. I hope I'm confident. I hope I'm all of this kind of stuff. What Chris from Good Looking Loser really drilled into my head and a lot of guys is, it's not about, does she like me? Did I do a good job? It's like, no, is she cool? Is she interesting? Do I like her? It's sort of a two-way street there. And this is basically the beginnings of my screening mindset. It came from Good Looking Loser. It developed over time the more of these articles that I read, and I realized, oh shit, like I'm on these dates to see if I like this woman. What we're going to do is go through this article. I want you guys and girls to start thinking about, is this person that I'm on a date with cool? Do they tick my boxes? Are we both looking for the same thing? Do they have the same green flags that I'm looking for? Instead of going out there and going, I need to convince people to like me. I need to make them like me. I need to do a perfect job and make sure everybody likes me. Instead, you're not trying to convince someone to like you. You're going out there and finding the people that like you. Now, balance that with obviously self-improvement. You know, if right now not a lot of people like you, you're going on plenty of dates and talking to lots of people and you're just not having much positive feedback, that's where self-improvement comes in. So I will always highlight self-improvement, but it's about going out there and finding the people that click with you, finding the people that have the same values, the same principles, whatever it is that you're looking for. So the article is called, I believe, Mr. Pussy Inspector. Maybe not the phrasing that I would use, but remember that these articles were written, God, like 14 years ago, and they still hold up amazingly well today. So screening mindset versus I hope she likes me mindset. We'll skip to the good bit. And bear in mind, everything here is written from a very hyper-masculine point of view, but a lot of these concepts absolutely apply to any women listening. He says, my success with chicks went from average, I bang a girl every once in a while, to sleeping with 3 to 4 hot girls regularly, and my approach anxiety, which is just a fear of talking to women, virtually vanished once I got it and really started doing it. I also used the get laid or get lost mentality, which is really just screening. And what he means there is find the people that want the same thing you want, which in his case was having sex, getting laid. If not, that's cool. Like, goodbye, I'll go and talk to the other people. Mentality on every chick I talked to. It took about 7 weeks. I was going out most nights of the week though. It's a paradigm shift that you must have if you are going to be elite. It's a mentality that separates those who are above average and those who are great. It's a mentality that separates the guys who get laid once in a while versus the guys who have 4 or 5 chicks to call for sex and blowjobs. It's called the screening mentality. And I really want to underline again, this doesn't just apply to getting laid and having lots of sex. Chris, or Good Looking Loser's website, was predominantly focused on having a lot of sex, a lot of casual sex. But this kind of stuff, this screening mentality, in other words, finding the people that are looking for the same thing you're looking for, absolutely applies to like a full-on like deep relationship. It applies to friendships. It applies to finding the jobs that you're looking for or that you'd be happy in. Screening mentality applies to everything in life. It's just that Good Looking Loser covered mostly getting laid. So this is not qualifying a girl. Qualifying is a technique. Screening is not a technique. It is a mindset. Don't worry if you don't know the difference between qualifying a girl versus screen set or mindset. It's not super important for this article. There are a few guys and even fewer pickup artist gurus that legitimately have and live this mentality. It goes like this. When you approach a girl or a guy, for any of you girls listening, you are legitimately screening to see if the chick is cool enough to chill with you. This is a complete shift from the approach mindset of, I hope she likes me, mentality that 98% of guys have. And again, this stuff applies to friendships. This stuff applies to people going into jobs. How many people go into a job interview with the mindset of, oh God, I hope I do a good job. I hope they like me. I hope they hire me. Instead, And it can take a little bit of practice. This isn't something that you necessarily get overnight. But what if you walked into a job interview going, oh, I hope this company is a good fit for me. I hope we're a good fit for each other. I hope we can, I can build their company. They can build me. Like we can just work together and build something beautiful. Imagine if you walked into a job interview with that mindset. It would be a completely different paradigm. And that's kind of what Good Looking Loser is talking about here. He's saying, imagine if you approached your dating life or your sex life thinking, I'm going to find the people that are a good fit for me, the people that I think are cool, the people that think I'm cool, and we'll gel together, we'll build something amazing together, rather than, oh God, I hope I don't fuck this up, or I hope I do a good job. So it goes on to say, most guys walk up to hot chicks with these kind of thoughts in their heads. I hope she likes me. I hope she likes my lines. Hopefully she thinks this is funny. I hope she isn't mean to me. I hope I don't fuck up. Yeah, exactly what I said a second ago. I hope I don't fuck this up. Let me just get her talking. Then maybe I'll show her that I'm interested. This was the type of crap that was in my head for years. And me too. Me, Andy, I had all this stuff in my head too. I hope people like me. I hope I do a good job. I hope I don't screw this up too badly. I hope they don't find me annoying. I hope I don't completely and utterly drop the ball. After gaining a lot of field experience, hanging out with some guys that got a lot of A or grade A pussy, Chris's writing style always cracks me up. He was like unapologetically a gym bro, and I loved him all the more for it. Banging some girls myself, my mentality changed. It changed a lot. I had met a lot of hot chicks. Some were cool, some were lame, some loved their life, some hated their life, some were surprisingly really awesome, and some were surprisingly really disappointing. There were a bunch of girls, they were basically all the same. To some degree, they all wanted to look good, have friends, be cool, have fun, feel respected, and feel loved. Yeah. How many times have I done content? I did an entire video on this where I talk about, all human beings basically want the same thing, as we want to be loved, we want to be understood, and we want to be happy, as he's sort of saying here. Some more than others. I've been with a wide range of hot chicks too. Introverted models, rocker girls, fitness girls, creative girls, druggy girls, smart girls, and dumb blondes. They are all the same with variations in their appearance and how they express themselves, personality. If they were hot, that stuff didn't really matter unless I was considering a relationship with one of them. Yeah, remember that he was just focused on casual sex. He's now married, by the way, so he's definitely moved on from that. But yeah, if I wanted to get laid, I needed to find a girl that was down to fuck. So why on earth was I walking up to girls and trying to get them to like me, get them to laugh, or get them to talk? I needed to figure out who wanted to bang me. And yeah, this is what I talk about, guys and girls, when I talk about honesty. Just say the thing that you're looking for. If that's casual sex, just make that clear to people. If that's a relationship, make that clear. If it's friendship, make that clear. If it's a job, make that clear. Whatever it is that you're looking for, just extreme honesty, saying the thing that you want, instead of beating around the bush with these pickup lines that you don't really give a fuck about, pretending to not want the thing that you actually want. Just fucking tell the truth. So a lot of that honesty stuff comes from Good Looking Loser, from this website. It's a big part, or he helped me in a massive way get to that point of complete honesty where I was just like, look, this is what I'm looking for. Is this what you want? If you don't want that, that's beautiful. Awesome. I'm going to go see if there's other people that want what I'm looking for. Life is so much easier when you go hunting for the people that want the same thing or are open to the thing that you're looking for. So instead of running this, I hope she likes this line or joke game, I started screening to see which girls were sexually available. Yeah, remembering that sexual availability, having sex, was the thing he cared about. So we're talking about honesty here. Guess what? Instead of finding out which girls liked my lines and jokes, I started finding out which girls were sexually available and down to fuck. Slowly, I realized I didn't care if they didn't like my game. That wasn't the goal anymore. The goal was to screen her, and if she was cool and down to fuck. That took away my approach anxiety. Yeah, so many people have anxiety around, approaching the opposite sex or making friends at a party or, making friends at work or getting a job, like all of this stuff. There's so much anxiety because people are putting pressure on themselves to be smooth, to be perfect, to be confident, to be amazing. It's like, those are great goals. Like, if you want to be smooth, if you want to be confident, if you want to be great at talking to people, amazing, great. But why would you expect yourself to be good at that thing at the start when you haven't really done it? You're going to be nervous. You're probably not going to be super smooth. You're probably going to be full of anxiety. And as Chris, here realized, as soon as I took all that pressure away from myself to have sick pickup lines and be the most confident alpha male in the room, As soon as he got to the point where he's just like, look, I want sex. Do you want that too? Man, all the fucking anxiety disappeared because now we're just talking about honesty. We're just talking about asking a bunch of people if they want the same thing that you want. Cool. So no longer did I try to impress girls. No longer did I care if they liked or didn't like my game. I wasn't a stand-up comedian anymore. I was just a player that just wanted some ass. Yeah, look at that fucking honesty, right? The fact that he can just be honest enough and have the integrity to say, look, I just want to get laid. Like, I fucking love that. I was screening girls instead of them screening me. I was in a position of power. I felt instantly cooler too. I wasn't like the guys who didn't think that they deserved to screen and test girls. One night I met this smoking, hot model chick named Angelique. What a cool name. And she told me, you actually think you're cooler than me. Like you actually think that. I said, I'm cooler than you and I know it. Later that night, Miss Angelique was laying in my bed screaming so loud with pleasure that my neighbors knocked on the door to tell her to settle down or for me to go easier on her. Okay, true story, I've never had neighbors knock on my door, and I have had some fucking loud sex, like especially the BDSM shit. And I've sometimes wondered, like, fuck, are my neighbors going to think like I'm assaulting women or some shit? Because you can just hear like spanking and whips and shit like that. But I guess there's moans in there as well. But yeah, I will add the slight caveat here that maybe one thing that it's not that we differ from Good Looking Loser, because this article or this website was written, like I said, 14 years ago, and Chris has changed a lot in that time, and I definitely have like evolved from certain aspects of Chris's content. And that's not to say it's bad or wrong. I'll add that caveat in here, but you know, the part here of like, you know, you think you're cooler than me, and him saying, I'm cooler than you and I know it. You guys and girls know I'm a big fucking hippie, and we talk about the map of consciousness and being kind to other people and all of that. And so I will say it's not so much that you're cooler than the other person. It's more about self-love. It's more that you're cool enough, that you like who you are, you think you're cool enough. So it's not so much about being better than the opposite sex or being better than the people that we date. It's more just self-love and saying, you know, look, I'm good enough. Like, yeah, I am cool. In other words, yes, I do deserve to have hot women or interesting women or cool guys or whatever it is that you are looking for. He goes on to say it's a totally different game when you start screening girls. Chicks think, who the fuck does this guy think he is? Chicks try to impress you. They respond to you differently. There's no such thing as rejection in the regular, she didn't like me, boo-hoo sense. You're the coolest person in the room, and most importantly, you get laid a lot more. Yeah. Again, caveat, I don't think you have to be the coolest guy in the world, but all of this shit absolutely, you know, applies. All of the guys I know that can get the quality and quantity we get, screen girls. All the guys I know that underachieve, let girls screen them. And again, all of this stuff applies to any women listening. It's about basically saying, look, I know what it is that I'm looking for. I know the type of person that I'm looking for. And that's what I'm going to go for. And if you don't quite match up with me, if you're not the things that I'm looking for, hey, that's beautiful. I hope you go and find the person that you're looking for, and I'll just go and talk to the next person. So basically, the entire point of this screening mentality from this article is figure out what it is that you want, be very honest about that, and try a little less to make people like you. Or, you know, I got to jump through all their hoops, and I got to sort of lose my sense of self because I'm so desperate for these people to like me. It's like, no. Obviously, work on yourself, you know, do that self-improvement so that more people or people are more likely to like you. Yes. And more people will like you. Yes, that's a point of self-improvement. But at the end of the day, what we're talking about here is self-love and I guess self-esteem, and not bending over and completely changing who you are as a person in a desperate hope that people will like you. Instead, working on yourself, learning to love yourself, all of the stuff we talk about on this channel, and then going out and finding the people that gel with you. So he goes on to say, I don't bring up celebrities a lot, but do you think Tommy Lee, and Tommy Lee's obviously a very old, outdated celebrity reference at this point, but again, the article was written like 15, 16 years ago. Do you think that Tommy Lee lets girls screen him, or does he screen girls? Do you think that Tommy Lee hopes the chick likes him, or does he hope that he likes the chicks? Scotty says, you're an inspector. Walk up to a chick and see what she's like. Go be an inspector. Go screen that pussy. I guess any women listening, you can go screen that dick. He goes on to say, Mr. Funny Man versus Mr. Pussy Inspector. I used to work as Mr. Funny Man. The job wasn't great, the work was kind of hard, and the pay wasn't good. Mr. Pussy Inspector is a way better paying job and the work is more fun. So when he says Mr. Funny Man, what he means is like, trying to be the comedian, trying to have perfect jokes. And there's nothing wrong with being funny. I'm pretty fucking funny. I try and throw some jokes in there. I like to make people laugh, but he's really talking about when you go over the top, desperately hoping that she finds you funny. Oh my God, I hope she likes me. That kind of mindset. And when he says Pussy Inspector, again, it applies to both genders. It applies outside of sex. It applies to everything. He's basically saying, I'm going to check each person and see if they're looking for what I'm looking for. And it's not about being better than them or like, let me inspect you and make sure you're good enough for me. I know that he talks a little bit like that, but the way that I talk about this stuff is you're basically just going up to people and being completely honest, saying, this is what I'm looking for. Does this gel with you? Would you like the same thing? Or would you be open to trying this with me? So you're more like inspecting each person to just see if they want what you want. So it may take a while to go from Mr. Funny Man to Mr. Pussy Inspector. You won't be used to it for a while. Yeah, I talk about that all the time with honesty, which again is really what we're talking about here. Honesty might feel a little bit awkward at the start. It might feel uncomfortable. You might be like, I don't know how to be fucking honest. How do I be honest with something? What if they reject me? What if they tell me that I'm too honest for them? And some people might. Beautiful. Awesome. You figured out that that's not the person that you want in your life. Someone doesn't want the honesty that you want or can't handle the honesty that you are giving. Great. That person isn't really going to be a good fit for you. They just don't want the same thing as you. They don't want to be honest like you do. They don't want to be vulnerable like you do. He goes on to say, you won't be used to it for a while. Do it again. Do it until you wake up one morning with a chick beside you and realize that you aren't Mr. Funny Man anymore. Yeah, so he's talking about practice and do it, and you'll improve at this honesty, at this being upfront. You're going to get better the more you do it. I have an article on my website called Honesty is an Ideal You Work Towards. And in this article, I talk a lot about exactly the concept that Good Looking Loser is talking about here. Honesty can take a little bit of practice. Like, don't expect that one day you will just wake up and you'll be like, okay, today I'm going to be honest and everything will be comfortable and perfect and easy. No, it can take a little while. It's taken me years to get to the point I'm at right now. And I'm not perfect with honesty. I say this all the time. That's the point of this article, right? Honesty is an ideal. Like an ideal state, or you can use the word ideal as in like a principle, like, what are my ideals? What are my principles? It's an ideal that you work towards. Like, I don't think I'm ever going to get to a point in my life where I am 100% perfectly honest. Like, I can't imagine that. I'm a human being. Human beings lie. And not that that's a bad thing. We lie to save people from pain. We lie because we're caught in a situation we don't know how to handle it. We kind of freak out temporarily. We tell a lie. Afterwards, we go, shit, why did I lie? Because you panicked. Because you're a human. And so I don't expect that I will ever be 100% honest. I wouldn't encourage you guys and girls to put that same level of pressure on yourself. I wouldn't encourage you to put the pressure on yourself of, I have to be perfect all the fucking time. It's an ideal that we work towards. And I love that Good Looking Loser has said that in his article. So he goes on to say, once you get this mentality down, life is different, very different. More about screening. As you guys know, if you're trying to get laid, or like I said, anything in life, really, you want a relationship, you want a better job, you want good friends that'll support you, you want to find people that are on the same path or mission as you, that's all screening. And when we say screening, I'll add something in here. I said this before. When you screen somebody out and when you screen somebody in, it's not a value judgment on them as a person. You're not saying, oh, you're not good enough, I'm going to screen you out. No, it's just you're not looking for the same thing that I'm looking for. Or maybe I have a set of criteria and you don't currently match those criteria. That's cool. I hope you go and find the thing you want. I'm going to be over here looking for other people who might fit, this criteria or these things I'm looking for. So it's not so much saying, or it's not about saying this person isn't good enough, blah, blah, blah. He has a few articles here, which I think they will all be inaccessible right now. Like I said, his website is down. I don't know if that's temporary or not. It's part of why I'm doing some of these videos where I read out his articles and react to them and add a little bit to them because I fucking love this website. I love this guy so much, and I want to keep some of these concepts alive. Screening for sexual availability is mandatory. You always want to run sexually charged conversation with physical advances. Yeah, I'll add in again if sex is something that you're looking for. Once you are legitimately screening and not running, I hope she likes me game, you can incorporate a lot of other screening criteria if you're trying to find a certain type of girl. It's like giving a chick a tryout. every time you talk to a new candidate. Yeah, and like I said, it's I phrase it like this, or I think of it like this. It's me saying, are we going to be a good fit for each other? Because it's not just you trying her out. You're basically seeing if you both gel, right? Like you might get together and go, I don't think I would be a good match for her. Like I just, maybe she's a super ultra conservative girl and she just wants like a hardcore relationship, an in-depth, marriage kind of relationship. And you're just looking for something casual. She might be a wonderful, amazing person. She might be super hot and all of that. But you just go like, look, I don't think we're on the same page here. Like you want something serious. I'm in this stage of my life where I want something casual. Okay, cool. Like we're not going to be a good fit. So it's not just about saying the other person isn't a match. It's like, are we both a match for each other? This is generally easier to adopt or adapt for more advanced guys that have already had a few fuck buddies and are naturally looking to replace one or trying to bring another one in. Anyone at the starting level should start to adapt the screening mentality. Again, it doesn't even just apply to dating and sex and stuff like that. This is like a life thing, like finding the people that like you or the people that are a good fit for you, rather than going, fuck, I hope they like me. There's a really good book on this, which I have this book on my website, or a link to this book on my website. It's called I Need Your Love. Is That True? Written by Byron Katie. This sweet old grandmother, look how sweet and lovely she is. And this book is basically just exactly this article that we're reading right now. It's with this person, rather than, God, I need their love. I need them to like me. I need them to think I'm cool. I need them to love me. I need them to stay with me, like all of that kind of shit. Instead, you're just saying like, look, I like who I am. Eventually you get to a point where you love who you are. I think I'm good enough. If people want to come into my life, that's awesome. If they want to leave, that's awesome. Like, I don't mind. She has a beautiful quote in this book that I love, and I've said this so many times. She says, people come into my life and people go out of my life. I love when they come and I love when they go. And so it's exactly this article that we're reading here. It's all about screening mentality. It's about, I'm going to look for the people that want to be here. And you do that through honesty, through putting forward, like being upfront and putting forward what it is that you want, what it is that you're looking for, through self-improvement so that you can love yourself and feel like, look, I am good enough. I am a good product. If you're 500 pounds and you're sitting on the couch and you don't have a job and you really don't like yourself and you're depressed and you're suicidal and you have no friends, it might be a little bit hard for you to like yourself. So you work on these things first. And then you find the people that want to be around you, the people that like you. So there's many different ways of phrasing these same concepts of, we can call it screening. We can call it finding the people that gel with you. I call it honesty. Other people call it self-love. If you love yourself, then you don't care who loves you because you're happy. So all these different ways of phrasing the same concept. For some guys, screening will be easy. Some guys will find it harder. It takes time to internalize. Yeah. You are literally reprogramming your brain. It is the ultimate mindset if you are seriously trying to get laid. And again, it's the ultimate mindset if you're just trying to go through life, right? And you really are reprogramming your brain. How many people go through life? I feel like 99% of people go through life going, I hope I do a good job. I hope everyone at the party finds me cool. I hope at the job they think I'm interesting. I hope my friends like me. I hope this girl or this guy finds me lovable. I hope that my family respects me. You're constantly desperate for other people to like you or love you or give you the things that you want instead of giving that to yourself. And I have many different exercises on how you can give these things to yourself. Again, I would read this book, I Need Your Love. Is That True? By Byron Katie. On top of that, go and look in the mirror every single day and say to yourself, like look into your own eyes and say, I love you. Do this every day, whatever comes up, process that, work through that, because some negative thoughts might come up. It might be very confronting. I do this every single day. I've done this for like 2 or so years at this point. On top of that, write a list of 50 things about yourself that are likable. Like literally go and gather the evidence and say, okay, what's actually likable about me? Like, why do I deserve self-love? Why do I deserve to like myself? When you have these things, in other words, we're talking about self-esteem or self-love, it's a lot easier to say, look, I don't really mind if some people don't like me. That's okay. Not everyone is going to like me. I don't need everyone to like me. Again, this book is the best book I've ever found on that mindset, that screening mindset, or that mindset of like, I don't need everyone to love me. Like, I need your love. Is that true? Spoiler alert, the answer is like, no, but the book helps you get there. Girls screen guys all the time. Yes, they do. Absolutely. But lots of girls have issues with assertiveness and saying no. And, some girls get, plenty of women get with guys that maybe aren't the best match for them. You know, people sort of do struggle sometimes to have this mindset of, look, I'm good enough. I don't need validation or attention from someone else. And again, it's a mindset that can take a little while to build. This channel, my channel, and Chris's website as well, but my channel is dedicated towards helping you guys and girls with these mindsets, with this self-love, you know, whether that's sex, whether that's friends, whether that's anything. Learning to love yourself, learning to give yourself the things that you want instead of trying to, or instead of being desperate from other people. He has a few examples from screening. I will briefly show them on the screen. I don't think I'll read them all out, but I'll show them on the screen. You can pause if you want to. Okay, I will read out this one because I do this one. I absolutely screen for this. I did a video recently called Green Flags, like things to look out for in a partner. This video right here. And I listed a whole bunch of like green flags that I have. And some of your green flags might be different to mine. But the whole point of this video was like, here's all the things that I look for. And one of the things that I definitely said is like, I love women and I love friends. I love people that say please and thank you. Like people that are grateful and people that are appreciative. That is like super important to me. That is one of the things I screen really hard for. Because I'm someone that loves gratitude. I'm someone that's very appreciative, that's very affectionate. I tell all of my friends basically every week or two, bro, I'm grateful for you. Thank you so much, dude. Like, you're amazing. I fucking love being your friend. I say the same to my family. I say the same to Imogen 1,000 times a day. To any girls that we date together, I say 1,000 times to them, I'm grateful for you. You're amazing. I say it to all of my coaches and my mentors and people like that. So I like people that are super grateful and appreciative. And Chris does too. And he screens like really hard for that. He literally like looks, and he sometimes even, you know, he's talking about here, like I encourage them to say thank you. Like I encourage them to do that kind of shit. So yeah, same thing he's talking about here. Like he even goes on to say like, I don't give a fuck if she thinks that's absurd. That's kind of the point here. It's about having a list of green flags. Again, watch this video here, green flags or things to look for in a partner. And you figure out your own green flags. And if somebody else thinks like, oh, what, you like someone that's super grateful? Well, not everybody wants to be grateful all the time. Beautiful. That's amazing. Then that's not the person that I want to spend time with. I hope they go and find the person they want to spend time with. And there's no animosity there. There's no ill will, no ill feelings, no hatred, any of that. It's like, we're just looking for different things. I like people that are super grateful. Another one for me is honesty. Chris was someone like that as well. I like people that are super honest. And if someone doesn't like honesty, or if someone was to say to me, well, not everybody can do honesty, bro, it's not always that easy. It's like, I know, that's beautiful. I love that, you know, there's a wide gamut of different human beings. I love that there's all these different human experiences. Some people are super honest. Some people aren't. I wasn't always super honest, especially when I was younger. And so I'm going to look for the people that are more in line with me, that are on the same wavelength as me, that are vibrating to the same frequency as me. And if someone doesn't, beautiful. That's amazing. I don't, as Chris said, give a fuck if someone thinks that's absurd. Like, I genuinely don't care. I am so unbelievably fussy at this point in my sex and dating life. You know, again, watch this video here, green flags to look for in a partner. I have like 30 fucking green flags that I look for. Like, in other words, 30 requirements that I need from a girl before I would even consider like sleeping with her or dating her. A lot of people will look at some of those and be like, bro, this is insane. Like, what the fuck? Like, you require all this weird shit. It's like, yeah. And I don't care if that's absurd. I'm very happy with my dating life. I'm very happy with my dating results. I love myself and I don't feel like I need anyone else. And so I can afford to screen that hard. Now, some of you might be in a position where you don't feel like you can screen that hard. You know, maybe you've always had issues with your self-esteem. Maybe you don't have a lot of sex experience and you're looking to get more. Yeah, maybe you don't screen crazy hard. You're not super, super, super screening like me. That's beautiful. You can screen as much or as little as you want. This article and my content isn't here to say, this is how much you should screen. That's like literally the point of these examples that Chris has put here. He's got a whole bunch of different people and what they like to screen for. And in other words, we're talking about green flags, and every single one of you will have your own set of green flags. You'll have your own set of red flags. Beautiful. Like, whatever it is that you want to screen for. And those green flags and red flags will likely change over time, like mine certainly have. So this is about figuring out who you are and the kind of people that you want in your life, whether that's for sex, dating, or friendship. So again, you can pause any of these and read these. I'm not reading these out because there's just so many of them, which I absolutely love. You know, this one here, this guy has a big fucking foot fetish, and so he screens for that. Yeah. I love BDSM and I love threesomes, and the open relationship that my girlfriend and I are in involves us both sleeping with women together. So I screen for girls who are bisexual, who find my girlfriend really attractive, who like her and like me and want to do BDSM and want to have a threesome. That's a lot of things to screen for, especially sexual things. Cool. So that's what I screen for. This guy here screens for foot fetishes. You know, you could screen for someone that likes sports and wants to watch sports with you, or is at least open to it. You can screen for someone who's super fit and wants to go hiking with you every week. You can screen for friends that are into self-improvement. You can screen for a job that will let you work part-time. You can screen for anything. But the point here is it's just honesty and saying to people, yo, I'm looking for this thing. Does that sound like something you'd like to be a part of, or something you'd like to give or share with me? Like, how do you feel about that? And then finding the jobs or the friends or the sexual partners or the intimate partners or whatever that want the same thing or are open to it. Yep, this is a pretty common one, this last one. My friend Mark likes chicks that are in great shape. Yeah, there's a lot of really fit people out there who want a partner who's also fit. Awesome. Screen for that. Just ask people very honestly, are you into fitness? Like, how fit are you? I mean, you can kind of tell with fitness, can't you? Because you can see that the person is fit and you can see them going to the gym. But, you know, with other people, you can even say, look, is fitness something that you're into? And they might say, look, I've never really been fit, but I'll be honest, I've always wanted to. I've been wanting to go to the gym for so long. I've just been really nervous. And you can gently encourage them. And hey, maybe they've been a fit person their whole life inside, but they've never actually done that. Like, they've had the potential. So there's that too. I'll add that caveat. But yeah, he goes on to say, a lot of these guys are 100% authentically screening chicks or people, which is made easier because they're usually already getting a lot of pussy from girls that fit that criteria. And you don't, that's kind of what I said before. It's like, you don't have to screen crazy hard if you currently don't have a lot of intimate partners in your life or friends in your life or job opportunities, or you don't love yourself or any of these kind of things. If you are at the point where you don't feel like you can massively screen right now, that's okay. This article is just gently pushing you in that direction. And the same with, you know, this book, I Need Your Love, Is That True? These are just gently, and my content too, gently pushing you in that direction of like, look, what if we work on your self-esteem, your self-love, getting you to that point where you're happy with who you are, and you can just sort of like not worry so much about one person or a couple of people not liking you. We're just gently pushing you in that direction. He even goes on to say that whether you get to that level soon, it doesn't matter. Yeah, see, like some of this stuff might take time. What does matter is that you understand why screening is important and you start doing it. Down the line, you can implement screening for important commonalities or connections, but just screen to get laid for now. And again, if you guys and girls want something other than just getting laid, beautiful. Like, screen for that, whatever that is. So why don't most pickup artist communities and mainstream dating advice tell guys to screen girls? And again, this applies to, like, we could say that same question on like, why don't most people who give advice like talk about screening for good friends or finding really amazing people to hang out with or screening for the job opportunity you're looking for? Because, okay, how about I won't read what's here and I'll just guess what he's going to say. Or I'll say what I was going to say and then I'll read out his bit. I think it's because a lot of people are coming from a fear mindset and they're terrified of like, fuck, if I screen too hard, then people will think I'm arrogant or I'll have no options. Or like, am I really allowed to even screen? I think a lot of people don't even know that you're allowed to just honestly say the thing that you want. And if some people don't want that, that's beautiful. Some people will want that. That's beautiful. We go towards the people that want what we're looking for, and the people that don't, awesome. We bid them a fucking adieu and we say, great, I hope you go and find the thing that you're looking for. So I think it's coming from a fear place. He says, good question. If I had to guess, it's because those guys are just internet marketers and magazine writers that don't actually get a lot of hot girls or any girls at all. They have experience telling funny jokes and sharing interesting stories. They have experience talking to girls when they previously couldn't talk to girls. A lot of them have no actual experience fucking the hottest girls. Any guy that is elite in this game operates from a position of power, whether he knows it or not. We can get you to this level. So kind of similar to what I said. And if we apply it to things outside of sex and dating, you know, like why don't most people screen for good friends? I think because, as he's sort of saying, maybe they just haven't really had any good friends. I think once you get a couple of really good friends, and I have articles on my website of like how to make friends, like how to make really solid friendships with people that will absolutely have a massive impact on your life. On my website, there is literally this article, How to Make Friends. I cover like a million different ways or a bunch of different ways to make friends. I've got like full-on guides. I literally say like, here's a fucking template you can just copy paste to people to like help you build friends. Here's some screenshots on like Bumble. Bumble has a friendship section if you're not familiar, other than like outside of dating, there's like an actual friendship section. And here's a couple of screenshots I've done with people so you can see what we actually talked about and shit. So go check out that article. Again, it's just on my website. It's called How to Make Friends. But I think a lot of people, or most people, haven't really ever made a strong friendship. They've never really had a bunch of people that would take a bullet for them, that change their life and impact their life, improve their life in such a powerful, positive way. So they almost don't know what they're missing. I think once you get a couple of solid friends, or maybe when you date a couple of people that are on the same page as you and looking for the same thing as you, and it's a great, wonderful, amazing experience, I think when you've had these things a couple of times, you go, holy shit, I'm not going to settle for anything less. This is like amazing. Like imagine if I had friends who were like this. I literally said this to one of the guys in the coaching program right now who has never really had strong male friendships or strong friendships. A lot of guys come to the group, a lot of people come to the group with that exact mindset or that exact experience, I guess. They've never had a strong friendship. They've never had someone that genuinely gives a shit about them. They come to the coaching group and they're surrounded by, the other coaching clients. And I screen, as this article is talking about, I screen pretty hard for people that I think will be positive, that are going to be wonderful, additions to the group and stuff like that. And so they come to the group and they're surrounded by all these guys and girls that are just absolutely fucking wonderfully kind, empathetic, open, vulnerable human beings. And so many times guys and girls will say, holy shit, like I can't believe these people are so supportive. And I will literally say, now that you've had a taste of this, now that you've been surrounded by some people in this coaching group who have your back, who want you to win, who want you to succeed, who give a shit about you and care about you and want you to be happy, you realize like the rest of your life can be like that. You can set that as the new standard, the new bar, and not accept less than that. And go out and find and meet people who are at that same level, who care about you, who will, understand you, who give a shit, who are on a self-improvement path. That can be the rest of your life. And so many of these people go, holy shit, like you're right. And then they go out and screen specifically for that. And so I think, again, back to this article, I think the reason this isn't mainstream advice, like screening for the people that are on the same path as you or want the same things as you, I think the reason that's not mainstream advice is because people just haven't really had a taste of that. Like I said, once you've had a couple of people that are on the same path as you or that make it easy to be around you. I did a video with Imogen relatively recently, this video here called Find People Who Make It Easy to Like Them. We literally talked about screening. Look, it's in the actual thumbnail. And we said whether it's friends, whether it's sexual relationships, whatever it might be, find the people that just easy to be with, you know what I mean? Easy to be friends with, easy to sleep with, easy to date, whatever it is that you're looking for, easy to work for. God, how many people are working a job that they fucking hate and their boss is like not particularly nice to them, to put it politely. And it's like, you've accepted that. And mainstream advice, generally speaking, just tells you to like grin and bear it. Just like, I guess you just got to go to work the 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and fucking get drunk on the weekend and drunk after work every day to self-medicate and deal with the fact that you fucking hate this job. I think most people just haven't really had a taste of like the good life, so to speak, or people that are on the same frequency as them or the same vibration or the same wavelength. So yeah. Love this article, love this concept. This, again, had a massive impact on me, this idea of screening, which really did come from Good Looking Loser. It also came a little bit from Mark Manson. Mark Manson talks a lot about finding people that are on the same wavelength as you. He talks a lot about authenticity and honesty, but Caleb Jones is another one as well. So I'd say those three people, more than anybody else, really taught me, hey, I can just be honest. I can just say to people, this is what I'm looking for. Is this what you're looking for? We call that screening, but you can also just fucking call it honesty. So I would love to encourage, or I'm encouraging any of you, if you want to, practice a little bit more of that honesty, a little bit more of that, look, what am I looking for? I'm going to go find the people that are looking for the same thing, and not getting so down or frustrated or sad if someone isn't looking for the same thing you're looking for. People call that rejection. And I've said this a million times. Nobody fucking rejects you. They're just not looking for the thing that you're asking for. They don't want the thing that you're looking for. That's not rejection. It's just, no, thank you. I don't want that. If I offer you a glass of water and you say, I don't want water, that's not a rejection. You're just saying, I don't want fucking water. If you go up to someone and say, yo, I want to go on a date with you, and they say no, they're not fucking rejecting you. They're just saying, I don't want to go on a date with you. Like the same thing as the water. No, thank you. You apply for a job and they don't hire you. They're not fucking rejecting you. I can't believe we literally call it the word rejection. People have such a strong negative connotation with the word rejection. And they then use that word, oh my God, I got rejected. It's like, it fucking hurts to feel rejected. It fucking hurts to get rejected. So don't call it that. Call it what it is. They just didn't want the thing that I wanted. They didn't want to hire me. I wanted to work for them. They didn't want me to. Cool. I'll go find the place that does want me to work for them. It'll probably be a better opportunity, because imagine getting a job, which lots of people do, at a workplace that doesn't massively really want to hire them, but they just kind of do. The boss ends up treating you like shit. The workplace isn't great. There's not opportunities, like all of that kind of stuff. So same stuff applies to dating. If you would like any more help with this screening mentality, or really this honesty and this vulnerability, I have 2 ways of getting in touch with me for coaching. I do one-off coaching calls, 1 per person. We sit down, go through anything that you're struggling with. I would love to help you with honesty. I would love to help you with screening. On top of that, I also have a hardcore 12-week coaching program. We got payment plans for that. You and I can sit down on a free call, sit there, talk about what you're struggling with, see if you're a good fit for the group. All of that good shit. We would love to have you. As always, ladies and gentlemen, go out there and crush those goals.